guys, it's Sam, and today we're gonna do a little get ready with me, catch up on life thing, because I feel like I haven't done that since maybe the holidays or before. And so many of you might want to know what's going on. I just kind of felt like doing this too, so here we go. My plant shelf just went off too. The lights, it's on a timer. But before we get into the makeup part, this is a paid collaboration with Dossier, which is a fragrance company, and I usually don't talk a ton about fragrances, but I have very recently been getting into perfume talk, which introduced me to this brand. So when this brand reached out, I was definitely interested in trying out their scents. So they sent me 2 of their perfumes that I picked out. Dossier is a cruelty-free perfume brand that is focused on making premium fragrances accessible to everyone. So they have fragrances that are inspired by more premium priced fragrances. Their fragrances are returnable and they do come with a sample, so you can try out the sample before even trying the fragrance if you think you might want to return it. So the first scent that I got is Woody Chestnut, and this is inspired by Replica by the Fireside, which is my signature scent for fall and winter. So I have this and that fragrance. I just want to kind of compare notes. So here is the Replica. I love this. It literally smells like a campfire with like vanilla. It's literally the same. It's the same smell. Like my nose is like, what? So this is very woodsy, smoky kind of campfire with vanilla is how I would describe it. And the second fragrance was a fragrance that I have never tried before, but I've been interested in because again, I've heard it on TikTok. And it's Spicy Orchid, which is inspired by Tom Ford's Black Orchid. This one I've already worn a few times, so I do love it. As you can tell, I went for the spicy category. There's a number of different fragrance categories, but I went for spicy because I tend to like those like spicy, muskier scents. And it's just sexy. Like it's just, yeah, and I've worn it a few times, and the top notes, like when you first spray it, it may be like, ooh, is this a little strong? And then it like simmers down and it's just like that like smoky, sexy scent. So that's what I'll be wearing today. So if you're interested in trying out Dossier, I do have a link and coupon code down below that you can use. And like I said, it's risk-free. You can return anything that doesn't work for you. And it's just a nice way to try out some more premium scents at lower cost. All right, so I am going to just put on like a pretty simple look because I'm going to be streaming later tonight. So I'm just putting on a little bit of makeup for streaming, nothing major. So this is actually a pretty spot on if I'm gonna wear makeup during the day, like out somewhere, because I don't really wear like makeup to work or anything. I mean, I wear like very light stuff, like I do my eyebrows and put mascara on. But if I'm gonna be wearing like makeup out and it's like not super serious, then this is kind of the makeup that I tend to do that's not like filming makeup or like going out somewhere nice kind of makeup. So I tend to use a powder foundation for that. This is one I've used forever. It's from Meow Cosmetics, like meow like a cat. And it's just super nice for mattifying just like a slight bit, but mostly just evening out skin tone. I feel like I'm extra red today because I was at the gym earlier. I feel like when I go to the gym, I just stay like a little bit more red all day. Also, it's super hot here. It's like almost 90 and humid. The last couple of weeks we've had a lot of just like really humid weather, which we really hadn't had the rest of the year. We've been pretty lucky. We've had a couple of days here and there, but nothing major. So, I mean, I'll take it. It's almost the end. Yeah, it's like the end of August at this point. Like, that's fine. So like I mentioned, I have gotten back to the gym. I've brought that up in a couple of like goal videos and stuff. I have gone back to the gym. Chicago, as of last week, is back on a indoor mask mandate, which is totally fine by me. So I am wearing a mask to the gym and going like 2 to 3 times a week, which has been perfect for me. There have been some weeks when like I've just been too busy with other things that I couldn't get to it, but if I can do 2 times a week, which is what I've stuck to, that's fine. 3 is ideal because that's sort of the routine that I'm following, but 2 times a week is fine. So I have been doing that. I do plan on getting a mask in a more like performance material because the cotton ones that are fine for like every day are like a bitch if you're sweating, and my face like instantly sweats when I have a mask on, especially at the gym. So I'm trying to get like an Under Armour or something, one that is not breathable in that droplets are getting through, but is like sweat wicking, you know? So I'm working on that to get me through the winter because I'm just kind of going off of thinking that it's gonna be most of the winter that masks are gonna be a thing inside. But honestly, if it keeps me even from getting a cold, which I haven't had in a year and a half, and I'm totally fine with that. Also, I am switching jobs. I'm still doing the same job, but for those of you that are not part of the bibliothecary, because I feel like they get all of the updates and I've been sort of following this whole thing, I am switching jobs. If you want more of these updates every month, I do a monthly vlog for the bibliothecary, and that's every single tier, so starting at $1 a month, you can get a monthly vlog from me and like all the stuff that I'm doing around Chicago and life and anything. So if you want this kind of content, but more vlog style a little more often, that's linked on the screen. But I got a job with a group that is closer to home and a bit of a pay increase and also some supervisor type stuff going on, and where I have complete control over my schedule 100%, and like the kinds of clients I have and everything, which is super nice. My last place was super great too, but this is like complete control, and then in a year I can go completely private practice and take all those clients with me as well, which is super nice. So I'm very excited with the way career stuff is going. But that is starting in September, which is right around the corner. This is my last week at my current place. Nothing really will change for me as far as like work schedule and stuff. I am trying to like change my work schedule on a bit, but like my job is the same at the new place, you know? Just a little bit more ownership of my time, I'd say. So I'm hopeful that that helps me have a little bit more brain space for content and things, and just, you know, working with the kinds of clients that are my specialty and that I want to work with. I do feel like I'm kind of finally coming out of the sort of slumpy feeling that was most of the spring and early summer. I mean, I'm not talking about reading slump, I'm still kind of in that, but I think it's less of a slump and more that I have a lot of stuff to do between work, trainings for work, content for YouTube and Twitch now, and then I was taking advantage of the summer, being able to have more like outdoor stuff and like do stuff with some friends that I'm trying to make around the city, because friendship is definitely a priority to me. Connection is important. So I was taking advantage of a lot of that, because I know that's going to be a lot harder to do coming up in the fall and winter, just with us being forced to be back inside and, you know, variants changing things and whatever. So I was taking advantage and continue to for the rest of the summer and like early fall probably of a lot of stuff. So, but I am hoping that there is a little bit more time for some of the kind of content that I do want to do. But I have also, with that slumpy thing kind of going out, I think the working out has definitely helped that. And then I have gotten back into a bit of a witchy routine, which is super nice. I've talked about how I was really excited to move into this place because I was like, I can do witchy stuff whenever. Tally's boofing at something in the hallway. And then really didn't get the chance to, just because I just wasn't in the swing of things for some reason. Still not 100% I wouldn't say, but over the last month I've definitely gotten back into like doing more witchy stuff, especially around like the new moons and full moons. I just did a big sort of, I wouldn't even call it like a ritual because that feels too serious, but I did a whole thing last night for the Aquarius blue moon, which is a second full moon in that sign, I think in the same month is what the definition is, but Google it if you don't know. And so I did some stuff around like manifestation and release, because as a blue moon you can do that. It was really good. I was really excited. I've gotten really like back into doing like ritual baths, and I found different ways to cleanse my house that are not so intensive as like smoke cleansing, because I found that was just like harder to do with the animals and a little bit more of like a concern for me. So found the using moon water and Florida water to be a much easier thing to do. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to some of the more like harvest type festivals coming up. Samhain. Because now that I've done more witchy things, I feel more, I don't know, empowered. So I am focusing on a little bit more of the holidays. I have been talking to a lot of people in the Witchy Discord, which if you aren't part of that, I will link that down below. But kind of about how we celebrate sort of like the witchy seasons and kind of like making your own wheel of the year and stuff. So trying to do a little bit more of that, which has been really nice. It's just, that's definitely a self-care thing for me. I'm very happy to be back at that. I definitely feel better when I'm doing that. See, nice, easy, like sort of brown smoky eye thing is kind of my go-to if I'm not being super fancy. I've also finally been to a couple plant shops and picked up a couple plants here. Again, I show video footage of those on the bibliothecary vlogs that I've done over the last few months, but have picked up probably 4 new plants. I was fighting off a spider mite infestation. For those of you that do houseplant stuff, spider mites are a pain in the ass. So I was fighting off those for quite a bit and then finally felt like I was safe enough to bring some new stuff in. So that's been really fun too. There are some really nice plant shops in the city that I've gotten to explore and made some planty friends as well. I've also enjoyed a couple of like witchy shops. There's one really close to me that's my favorite so far of the ones that I've found. But there's a couple more that I want to explore too that are in the city. So I do have my car now. Again, if you haven't been like following along with me, I didn't have my car when I first moved to the city, and I decided that it was easier to have one, especially for like spring, summer, fall. I might get rid of it again in the winter just because like the plowing and like shoveling out your spot, like I don't really want to deal with that. But it's way easier for me to get around town and like get stuff that I need. And sometimes there's places I want to go that are off the like bus or subway lines. And so it's much easier to go via car. I've also just like always had a car since I was like 17. So not having one makes me feel like stranded, but I still do a lot of walking and a lot of taking like the subway and stuff if it's easier to do that, because sometimes it's easier to do that than drive in the city as well. I've made some decent progress on my apartment. I do plan on doing an apartment tour, but there are some last little bits and bobs that I'm sort of working on. Still finishing up just like wall decor stuff. You see sometimes in the background like this little gallery wall that I have going on. That's pretty much okay, but I wanted to get more on that before I showed the apartment in like an official tour. And then I have a really long hallway that is sort of like my entryway hallway, and I want to do something with that. I don't really know what I want to do with that, so that's something I'm kind of working on, because it definitely feels like empty and incomplete. And there's a couple more things I also want to get for my bedroom as well, like decoration wise, and also witch wise. I want like a little, what I'm looking for witch wise and decoration wise is a like a floor cabinet, like almost like a smaller, you know, not super high bookshelf-y type thing, cabinet, you know, storage kind of thing with glass doors on it, because I want to keep all of my like witchy stuff in there and kind of have it on display. I want to put that under my honeycomb shelves. If you watch me on Twitch, you'll see those in the background. So I want to do that, but I cannot find anything at like a decent price in the style that I want. So that's going to be a process, going to like thrift stores and checking on like Facebook Marketplace. And I am checking on like some furniture websites, but I just can't exactly find what I want, and I'm not gonna get something like just to get something. I need something like sort of specific. But once I find that and what I want, then I will definitely do a house tour. But I've gone to a couple of art shows looking for things. I got one art piece this weekend, actually. It's so funny, I was wearing all black, as I do. And when I walked in the booth, the girl was like, "Oh my God, you match like the art," because it was all like black and white. I think it's called like scratchboard art. So that was really cool. So I picked that up. And I am going to an oddities and curiosities fair / convention-y thing next weekend, which I'm not sure what exactly that's all going to entail. I might be a little creeped out because I don't love horror stuff, but I think it's going to be like a mix of horror and like witchy and weird and whatever. But I'm hoping for some art there too. There's supposed to be a bunch of vendors, so I'm hoping for some art there too. Speaking of art, I do have a tattoo appointment scheduled for 2023 for a thigh piece. But beyond that, there's another tattoo artist that I want to get a tattoo either here or here. I don't know which side I want yet. And her books are opening this Thursday. So wish me luck that I am able to actually get into her, because that is going to be the start of my night circus tattoos. Yes, and once you see them, you're gonna be like, they're very non-obvious. I do love non-obvious fandom stuff, whether it's tattoos, decor, you know, clothing, whatever. I don't want like official shit. I want it to be non-obvious, so they're just like the people that know, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm going for with my tattoo as well. The thigh piece is a Persephone tattoo, so that's also on brand. Just being scratching at the chair. I've kind of given up hope on those chairs that he's scratching at. They're from Target and they like lasted many years. But I'm eventually gonna get like a wooden chair for back there, because that's where I sit to eat, so I don't have to sit in there for long periods of time. But he doesn't really scratch wood, he just scratches fabric. But he doesn't scratch like the couch, you know? So I wanna make sure he still has acceptable things to scratch because I don't want to take that away and then have him scratch the couch, because that would suck. So those are the big things. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Working out, witch stuff, plant stuff, decor stuff, friends stuff. I think that's the major things going on with me. But the pets are doing good. Everything's really good. I tell people that moving to Chicago was the best decision. I'm very, very happy here. Every night I go out on my rooftop because that's where I take Tally out at night before I go to bed. And I look at the skyline because I can see the skyline from my rooftop. And I'm like, I love it here so much. So I'm very, very happy with my choices. And I'm hopeful that sometime in the next, let's say, year or so, that I can do some kind of meetup with people that are in the Chicago area and do some like bookstores and stuff. Find some, because I've only gone to a few bookstores. I have a few favorites thus far, but I haven't been to nearly all of them that I've wanted to visit. So I'm hoping to do that with you guys when it gets safer to do so. So that is it for my kind of catch up. Comment below, let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know if there's any of these topics that you'd like to see more videos on this channel. Like I said, check out Dossier if you're interested in some premium fragrances for lower prices. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.